Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Toluche Francis, and if this is your first time of visiting this channel, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss further updates that come your way. Today, let's look at how to manage anger and frustration in a relationship. Now, oftentimes I've heard people complain so much about their relationship frustrating them, about the guy not understanding them or the lady not paying attention to them. And I'm always like, hey, come on, let's look at this from a different angle. What if you are not looking at the positive side of this whole relationship? What if you're not looking at the good things that the guy has done before now or that the lady has done before now? You see, it is very easy for us to get carried away by what the other person is not doing properly and not focus on the good times that we have had in that relationship. Now, you may get frustrated at certain times, you may get angry at certain times, but taking it up on the person is not really the solution to the whole matter. Now, one of the things that people think of when they feel like they have how do I put it? When they think that they have managed the relationship long enough, is to think of walking away. And does that really solve the matter? Let me give you a scenario. So you walk away from this relationship because you think that your partner is frustrating and gets you angry often or doesn't understand you, and you meet another guy or another lady and the same thing happens. Meet another guy, meet another lady, the same thing happens. Is that how you keep living every relationship you find yourself? Definitely not. That's not the best way to go about it. So when you get angry, what exactly do you do? I'm going to share 3 tips for you to make use of each time you find yourself angry in your relationship. Number one, do not walk away. When you find that you're angry or you're frustrated in your relationship, the first thing you can do is to have a sit down with your partner to talk about it. Do not think of walking away as the first solution or the first option. No. Now, the reason is because this doesn't solve any matter. This doesn't solve any issue. You would have left gaining nothing. The other person would have left gaining nothing. And the pain of breakup is not quantifiable. You cannot quantify how much pain you feel when you quit a relationship. Imagine that you have been in a relationship for 5, 7 years and decide to quit. Now, this is not even talking about someone who is married. I'm not even giving marriage tips here. This is not a marriage counseling session or if not even a relationship tip, but because you need to have your mental health stable. You need to be able to think straight. You need to be emotionally balanced for you to do anything in life. Now, you would agree with me that if everything is not going on well with you, there is no way you can be balanced at work. There is no way you can reach your maximum productivity in the things that you do. And so you need to close all those gaps that might leave room for you not to be productive at work. You need to close them. You need to be able to focus on the things that matter. So call your partner together, have a sit down, talk about it. Now, let me give a caveat here that when you are angry, it's not the time for you to have that meeting. No, because when you're angry, you're going to flare up. When you're angry, you're going to talk in manners and ways that you do not like. When you're angry, you are not going to like the things that you're going to say because you won't be thinking at that point. All right, so it is expedient that when you are angry, maybe I should even say that the first thing you should do when you are angry is to walk away first, think about what has happened, put your thoughts together, and then now come back for the meeting with your partner. So you may be with your partner and he or she is yelling at you, screaming at you and everything. No, just okay, excuse me for a moment. I'll see you. I'll see you very soon. I'm not being disrespectful. I just take some time off to cool off so I don't mismanage this situation. Now that there is maturity. It doesn't mean that you're weak. No, it's not a sign of weakness. When you walk away from anger, when you walk away from situations that get you angry, it doesn't mean that you are weak. It only means that you are able to control the situation. You're able to take charge of everything around you. So take the walk. When you are clear-headed and you can think well, then you come back. Why is it important for you to take that walk? Now, in your head over there and in your system, there's what we call the amygdala hijack. Now, this amygdala hijack seizes your sense of reasoning and you're not able to think like a normal human being. When you're angry, it seizes how you reason and makes you act based on how you feel at that point. You would agree with me that feelings do not rule the world. No, thinking and reasoning rules the world. And so you cannot act on how you feel at every point in time so you do not regret your actions. All right, now when you have that meeting with your partner, at this point you're able to think properly. You are not apportioning blames. You are not thinking of who is wrong or who is right. You just need to clear things so that you understand where you are and you can have a clear head. All right, after this, then you begin to look at yourself. What are the things that I need to work on for myself? What are the things that I need to change about myself? What are the things that I need to change about this relationship? Now, you may begin to wonder, why am I talking about relationship? Now, this is because a lot of times we have to relate with people. Now, I might have been using the word partner all along, but let me even say that this applies to even your friends. Yes, your friends, your colleagues at work, this applies. So at every point of the way, you should be able to look at, how can I manage my relationship with my work colleagues? How can I manage my relationship with my parents, my siblings? When they get me angry, do I just flare up and act that way? No, no. Even if you're older, you may be older than the person who has offended you or who is frustrating you. Where your maturity comes in is that you're able to take charge of that situation, you're able to take control of that situation. Now, do not forget that for everything that you say, you cannot take them back. All right, words fly in the air, and the moment you say those things out, you lose them already. You lose those words already. So you need to pay attention to the things that you say and how you act when you are angry. Now you need to keep working on yourself. There's the third part. You need to keep working on yourself, because trust me, nobody is perfect in any form of relationship whatsoever. Be it the amorous relationship or the platonic relationship, your relation with your boss at work, with your co-workers, with your fellow students. No one is purely 100% perfect. And so you may think that one person is frustrated, but the other person may not be complaining. That the person isn't complaining doesn't mean that he or she is also not getting frustrated by your actions and your inactions. All right. So you need to also begin to look at yourself. How do I develop myself to be able to make every relationship work, or at least the relationships that need to work, such that nobody gets frustrated by the things that I do? Now, that is the third thing that you need to do. Why is this important? Number one, it is important that you stay out of anything that alters your mental health. It is important that you stay out of anything that alters your mental health. Now, this is because you need to have a clear head. You need to have a clear mind. You need to be able to live your best life without holding grudges. Usually, I tell people that when you hold grudges against people, you are carrying a burden. Yes, you're carrying a burden when you hold grudges against people. Now, what does this mean? The person is walking around freely, the person is living his own life, but you are here angry. And you're not even able to make decisions. You see that person and you're so angry. Let me share a quick story with you. Back then in my secondary school, what in some countries is called high school, I had an issue sometime, and each time I saw this person, I became very angry, and I acted it out. But one day I sat and I asked myself, these people didn't offend me, these juniors didn't offend me, so why am I taking the anger on them? Then I realized that even though I thought I had forgiven that fellow, I'd actually not forgiven that fellow. I still had it in my mind, and this wasn't even my girlfriend or anything. We're just set mate, all right? So I had to sit down and ask myself, hey, young man, you cannot continue like that. And that was when I got my revolution. I've had anger get me into trouble. Yes, anger get me into trouble. I remember as a senior prefect back then in high school, I was being flogged on the assembly ground, because I misbehaved, and I misbehaved out of anger. All right, if I had sat down and I thought about it and had reasoned carefully, trust me, I wouldn't have acted the way I acted that day. But because I didn't pay attention to that, I didn't think of the repercussion of my actions. I just wham, I moved and I acted the way I actually thought I should have acted at that point, because anger led me. So the reason why I'm sharing these tips is not just because of relations, because you'd always have to relate with people every step of the way, at every stage of your life, till you leave this world. And so you need to, at every point in time, ask yourself, am I acting based on how angry I am, or I am acting logically or and objectively? Am I acting this way because I'm angry, or am I acting this way because I can think properly? All right. And so you need to do that so that you have a clear head and you do not carry extra luggage. Number two, when you keep living in anger, it can give you heart attack. Now, this is because you'll be thinking constantly about this person. You'll be thinking constantly about the actions of this person. All right. And when you think and think and think and think, you know what that can bring to you. So you need to, as much as possible, see that you are not living angry. You're not angry with anybody. You are at peace with everyone. This helps you to live a life and not be at risk of any form of illness whatsoever. It's when you hear that people just slumped and died, or people develop heart attack, trust me, It's not every time that it comes all of a sudden. All right, every time it comes all of a sudden, it builds up, it builds up, it builds up. Okay, so pay attention to all these things, and I do hope that you have found this lesson today very, very interesting. Please do subscribe to this channel so that I can get further updates subsequently. Till I come your way again,